right now, outgoing Mayor Tiffany Henyard's name has been removed from a sign outside Village Hall in South Suburban Dalton. In its place, incoming Mayor Jason House's name.
Have you heard from Tiffany? Has she conceded? Has she said she accepts the results to you yet?
I have not heard anything from former Mayor Henyard.
Riding around and get it. Riding around and getting it.
Who easily defeated Henyard in February's Democratic primary and then won the April 1st general election. He'll take the oath of office May 5th. While Henyard's name has been removed from the sign, she remains listed as mayor on the village website.
All right, you guys. It looks like all the hard work the trustees have been putting in over the last 4 years, along with all the residents who consistently pressured Tiffany Henyard, is finally paying off. Her name has finally been taken down, and the person whose name probably should have been up there from the start has been put up instead. That person is former senior trustee, now Mayor Jason House. And honestly, it seems like his name should have been there, all along. But here's the thing. Jason House was asked to be
Jason House.
Having been duly elected to the office of trustee.
Having been duly elected to the office of trustee.
I was on that ticket. I was asked many times to run for mayor, but at that time I elected against running for mayor.
I'm here to give my support and endorsement for trustee Tiffany Henyard.
My decision of who I supported for mayor, I greatly regret. I bought into it hook, line, and sinker 100%. I thought that, okay, well, if you're saying talk to your board, work with your board.
You cannot, and I repeat, cannot pay a bill because you choose to. The entire body have agreed to not pay that one particular vendor. So what I'm saying, or what I'm asking as a trustee, is that you report to your board. That's the structure, that's the order that you ignore every time. What I'm asking you, if you want something paid, put it before your board.
We're going to make sure all of this happens. And to see that it was lies.
People wanted him to be mayor, and they supported him running for mayor, but I feel like Jason House is the kind of person who likes to think things through before taking action. So maybe he didn't feel ready to take on that responsibility at that time, or maybe he just wasn't willing to do it then. Tiffany Henyard, on the other hand, definitely wanted that position by any means necessary. She's the type of person who goes after what she wants, diving in head first. That can be a good thing for you and those around you if your intentions are pure. But if anyone has been following this whole situation long enough, we know the intentions behind a lot of what she's done have not been for the residents' best interest, but rather for her own gain, in my opinion. Throughout this whole process, we've been shown multiple times how full of double standards she is, how narcissistic she is, and I would even dare say she's a sociopath. But these are all my opinions, and like I've said many times before, I'm not a professional in human behavior, so I don't claim to diagnose anyone with a personality disorder. But if you've watched my channel, or at least 3 of my videos, you've seen on multiple occasions her being called out for narcissism, hypocrisy, and double standards across the board, both when she was mayor and when she was trustee before. So if you want to catch up on this Tiffany Henyard drama and see some past footage comparing her as a trustee to her time as mayor, I have plenty of videos like that on this channel. Today we're going to do just that. Look back at trustee Tiffany Henyard from 2014, when she was new and fresh and trying to prove she was there for the residents. We're going to hear her talk about something familiar, something she pushed all the way through her mayoral tenure. And that's housing. Yes, if you guessed that before I said it, go ahead and drop a house emoji in the comments along with your thoughts. She's going to talk about housing and abandoned properties in Dalton and how she wants residents to get first priority. But before we jump back to 2014 trustee Tiffany Henyard, if you're new here and like what you hear, please leave this video a like, and if you're a returning subscriber, please remember to leave a like as well. Let's get this show started, and for those who don't know who I am trustee Tiffany Hen, chairperson of housing. So if you have any problems or issues related to housing, please contact me or you can meet me here at Village Hall. Please take advantage of the foreclosure defense attorney while he's here. And for those watching on Channel 4, please contact the foreclosure defense attorney to get the help you need. The reason I get calls is when your house has been taken, I prefer you try to reach out to the help offered so you don't lose your home. And with that said, I would like to start our agenda. The first item on the agenda is VTON abandoned property. I want to hear from you guys, the residents. I want to know how you feel about this issue, what you want us to do. I want you to speak to the board. I want you to stand up and be heard. I don't want you to be silent. I want you to give us 2 or 3 minutes of your time and tell us what you think we should do to get rid of the abandoned property problem. Does anyone want to speak on this? Next on the agenda, we have enforcement of crime-free housing. So that was Trustee Tiffany Henyard introducing herself to the residents. And there goes Stan Brown, always popping up somewhere behind Tiffany Henyard. Yeah, so as we can see, of course, they go way back. Now you know it's not fair sneaking up on a man eating a Tiffany juicy burger. A total hot mess. But back to what I was saying. With her being the chairperson of the housing committee, it wouldn't seem suspicious for her to implement programs trying to get residents' houses involved. The thing is, she was heavily into real estate herself, so I feel like that could have been a conflict of interest. But then again, not really, because that would also show she has experience with housing. I just wonder if her whole history with real estate, including that infamous Section 8 mode house that made the news, was why people hesitated to get behind some of the ideas she brought up. For those who don't know, Tiffany Henyard rented out a house to a Section 8 tenant while she was a trustee. The house was in deplorable condition. It had mold. The person had to move out and stay in a hotel, which the village paid for. There were accusations that she used her power as a trustee to pass the inspection and so on. Just a whole hot mess in itself. I did a video on that as well, so if you want to check that out after this video, I'll leave a link down in the description for you. That might have had something to do with why people stopped trusting her and why she was eventually pulled off the housing committee. But let's continue, and we're going to hear a little more from 2014 Trustee Tiffany Henyard. A property auction. Yes, you heard that right. We are unloading our village-owned property inventory. This auction will be held in April. That's 2 months away. The reason we chose April is to give residents time to file their taxes and use that money to bid on village-owned properties at a bargain price. Otherwise, call and bug and even torture your loved ones for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you just can't miss. I'm excited to offer select properties to residents, and I urge everyone to participate. FYI, for those who want to join, please understand what you're getting into. I know most things may look like an opportunity, but you should add up your funds and make sure you can afford this. Also, do your homework, because you have to put up an escrow. These properties are vacant and might need major repairs. This item is on the agenda today for a vote, and I'm asking the board to support me in giving residents the chance to buy village-owned properties. What I found interesting about her announcing this and telling residents, hey, you can use your tax money, that's why we're doing it in April, is what she did differently as a trustee compared to her time as mayor. She included a little disclaimer saying, hey, this might look like an opportunity, but be careful. You need to make sure you have the money because there's escrow and work needed on these properties. She actually gave a disclaimer that made residents think, oh, she actually cares about us. She wants us to have these properties, but she's also looking out for our best interests. But what kind of program was Mayor Tiffany Henyard trying to push with her infamous block-by-block plan? When she presented that to the board, there was never any real disclaimer or warning like she gave the residents when she was a trustee. Your way. Problem is we keep spending money. You keep telling me to tweak this, change that, jump through hoops just to get something passed for the people. That's the problem. And I'm tired of asking you guys to do what's right and create or change whatever I'm creating to what you want so you can pass it. You guys aren't doing any of that. When I bring something up, it's still a problem. You won't pass anything I propose, and that's fine. I just want people to see that every time I initiate something, it becomes an issue. She was always trying to push her ideas and steamroll them through, but the trustees knew that wouldn't be a good idea. What would eventually happen is multiple people would get into houses and situations they couldn't afford. Then who would get the house? It might go back to the village. Tiffany Henyard and company could snag it up. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on the situation, but the trustees knew something was going on, so they always blocked the block-by-block plan. All right, pun intended. Let's move on and look at some other reasons how Trustee Tiffany Henyard was able to build a type of trust with residents and even fool some of them into thinking she was actually there for them, buying their favor. Thank you all for coming out today. A couple of things. Tomorrow I'm having a pre-Thanksgiving dinner for you all. It's free to all my Dalton residents. I've always given back to my community over my 7 years on this board. I am located at 15800 State, inside South Suburban College. The name of my restaurant is Good Burger. Hey, it's your girl Tiffany Henyard, owner of Good Burger. Oh my God, it's been a long journey, but we finally made it. I'll be feeding everybody from 4 to 6, so come get free food, sit down, talk to me, ask questions, bring a neighbor, bring some kids, it's free. You don't have to do anything or give anything, just show up and talk to your trustee. I got a surprise for y'all. Come on, follow me. Wait, I gotta do a challenge door first for y'all. The people's trustee, that is. I got my new food truck. Check me out right here. So guess what? If you have an event, a class, an outdoor barbecue, a repass, a wedding, call me Miss Good Burger at 708-801-9082 and we'll pull up on the scene for you. Hey, about to get it. I got something for seniors too. Free wigs for seniors for Christmas. If you need wigs, hit me up. Also, you guys know I'm a big advocate for cancer survival and supporting you through your situation, so reach out for that as well. All right, let's look at another example of how trustee Tiffany Henyard tried to buy residents' favor, or at least tried, but it didn't really work out so well for her. Let's watch. Next, I don't know if you guys grabbed your tickets from the table in the back. Did anybody grab these? I'm going to do the raffle now if you did. Pull it out real quick. Wait, hold on. We can't do a raffle in the middle of the board meeting. Raffles at a public meeting, I can't. We cannot conduct a raffle during a public meeting. Come on. Okay. Well, when can I do it? After we adjourn. Can you do it in public? There wasn't anything there. Normally you have communications and someone can do that. I'm just giving a holiday gift to residents. I don't even know if it's legal to do it at all. Individual raffles. I'm not giving anything but a holiday gift to the residents. But talking about legal stuff, the government attorney, Henyard, we're getting legal advice here? That's not even right. But don't worry about it. That's why I got my own attorney, so it's okay. Go ahead. Okay, well you guys, I still have it if you want to wait until after the meeting. I'll announce it. Thank you. He's saying you can't even do it in government. The attorney advised trustee Tiffany Henyard that as a government official operating within a government building, she cannot simply hand out gifts to residents. Such actions could be seen as a conflict of interest or inappropriate. However, Tiffany, being hard-headed, ignored this advice. She insisted she was just trying to do something good for the residents, and despite the warnings, she planned to go ahead with it anyway. This kind of stubborn behavior wasn't new. Even when she was a trustee, she pulled similar stunts. And now that she has more power and access to bigger budgets, these generosity displays haven't disappeared. They've likely become more intense, with cronyism and nepotism creeping in, at least from what's been observed. Moving on. To why people voted for Tiffany, trustee Brittany Norwood explained that when Tiffany was a trustee, she seemed genuinely committed to speaking up for residents. She often talked about giving residents first priority on vacant village properties instead of handing them off to outside companies. Brittany admired that attitude. However, once Tiffany became mayor, things clearly changed, revealing a degree of hypocrisy. Brittany called out these contradictions during a board meeting, showing how Tiffany's promises didn't quite hold up once she had the mayor's seat. Another issue Tiffany raised involved residents' water shutoffs. She brought attention to complaints about water being turned off over a long holiday weekend and not being restored promptly. Tiffany, branding herself as the people's trustee, argued that if residents pay their bills on a Friday before a 3-day weekend, their water should be turned back on immediately, not held off until Tuesday. She pointed to the city of Markham as an example, where residents who pay by noon have their water restored the same day. Public Works responded that due to the volume of shutoffs, it's sometimes impossible to turn water back on right away. Nevertheless, Tiffany pushed for better service, demanding that water be restored the same day it is paid for. This entire saga is classic Tiffany Henyard, bold promises, clashes with officials, and ongoing controversy. When trustee Tiffany Henyard pushed for water to be turned back on the same day residents paid their bills, the mayor questioned if the village had enough manpower to handle both shutting off and restoring water services promptly. The mayor pointed out that crews likely follow schedules and have other tasks, so they can't just stop everything to restore water immediately for those who were delinquent. Tiffany argued that if they have the manpower to shut off water, they should have the manpower to turn it back on as well. She used other communities as examples where same-day restoration happens without issue, suggesting that Dalton could adjust its hours or deadlines accordingly. The mayor raised concerns about overtime costs for workers if they have to extend hours to meet this standard. Tiffany responded that the focus should be on resident service and fairness, arguing no one should suffer a 3-day water outage just because they were late paying a bill. This sparked debate, as the mayor and others felt accountability is important to prevent repeated delinquencies. Meanwhile, Tiffany emphasized that other towns manage this process successfully and that the department head could create a workable plan here. She insisted that the village must try new solutions if complaints keep coming in. Naturally, Tiffany's insistence on this issue put her at odds with the mayor, continuing a pattern of public disagreements. Despite her relentless campaigning, style, and past controversies, residents and some trustees began to see through the facade. If you've enjoyed these flashbacks comparing Trustee Tiffany Henyard to Mayor Tiffany Henyard, drop a comment below to let me know if you want more of these. That's it for today. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new here.